Okay, so what sort of changes are we talking about here? And these changes are all around you folks if you just have the right kind of eyes to see what's going on. If you can step back, as I say, step back into space and look at the big picture. Because when you do, well, no matter how you look at it folks, the times they are changing. And this is the case even if you are not the type of person who pays much attention to things like ancient prophecies, historical accounts or galactic alignments, or to events such as strange spirals in the sky. But then even on the surface level of our modern societies and political structures, things are very much in a process of change. Folks, the point here is that either way, whether by earth changes or by a political and economic reshaping of the current system, it's extremely doubtful that our world will be the same as it is today in another 3 to 5 years from now. Things are very much about to change, and whichever way it comes, these changes are going to be significant. Now folks, I truly believe, and I will even go so far as to say I know within my heart, that what is truly and absolutely the most important thing of all at this time in our history is the energetic state of the collective consciousness through this period of change. And I'm certainly not saying that we all sit around with crystals, meditating and expelling all negative thoughts from our being, as the New Age movement is promoting. What is needed to effect positive change is the removal of fear from the human consciousness, and this is precisely why it is imperative that we, the people, the collective human family, now all work towards addressing the polarized, fear-based energies and psychic vampirism that is currently so prevalent in the world. We need to address the corruption that exists in our societies, folks, the corruption that runs these societies. Look at the way the world is run. All of the corruption, all of it, is because of a common cause. It is the leaders of our world, folks. It is the people who are leading the political, religious and corporate institutions and the academic institutions of our world, the people at the very top that are controlling the energy of the whole planet. I've often said to people that all of the smaller problems that we face, each one a major problem in itself, the whaling, the environmental damage, the homelessness, the wars, the disease, the poverty, all of these things, these are all major problems, but they are all simply symptoms of the one problem, and that one problem is the corruption that exists at the top levels of our societies, at the highest levels of all of our social and economic structures. This is what we need to address, and the way to address it, folks, is to connect with each other, to live in love, to live in harmony, to help those around you. That's the key to the whole thing. It is so important that people do not get whipped up into a state of anger and violence, because anger and violence through this transitional period will be playing right into the hands of those who are controlling this earth. We've got to look at things from an energetic perspective. And when doing this, it's important for people to understand that humankind is a collective consciousness. There is only one self, my friends. And events are moulded. Events and reality itself is moulded by the energetic state of the collective human consciousness. And so you're never going to heal humanity or improve the energetic state of the self by ignoring the plight of others. This is the big secret that's been kept from everyone. This is the big problem with the New Age movement. And I know I bring this up a lot, but I bring it up a lot because it's important. And living in Byron Bay here in Australia, there is such a New Age culture here that I see this around me almost every day. Now, the New Age movement was created at this time in our history because it had long been known that there would be many high-frequency individuals born through this period, many with strong hearts, capable of standing silently and peacefully against the corruption of our societies. Many people who could stand up and address the plight of humankind with peace and love in their hearts. So the New Age movement was created to prevent these people from doing so. It was created to promote a kind of apathy and a new religion of inaction, while these individuals were trained to concentrate on individual improvement and to wait for a new kind of saviour, the saviour of ascension. And the failure of these strong-hearted people, these strong-hearted and powerful people, to address the dark energies that are now so prevalent in our world is precisely what has allowed these type of energies to become so strong. We are right now at this critical moment in our history. We are in a time of great opportunity. We are in a time period where we could quite literally escape this holographic reality, return to self, and experience what true ascension is. But until these energies are addressed, until humankind begins to act in empathy and compassion, always in empathy and compassion, until people are prepared to turn and face the shadow, to deal with it and to heal it, and until people begin to understand the reality that the only way to improve your own life is to improve the lives of others. Until humanity comes to these realizations, then there will be no escaping this matrix. Consciousness will simply assimilate what it has learned during this cycle, and it will continue to evolve through the next. And whether that new cycle will begin as a utopia or a global prison state will be determined by the energetic state of the collective consciousness through the transitional period. And this is why I do what I do, folks. I feel there is an awful lot of fear in the world, and there is an awful lot of fear in regards to many of the things I address on this show. The encroaching New World Order and all the polarized rubbish that goes with it. And this fear in people is quite understandable, because a lot of this information can be very scary to people when they first become aware of it. But it's important to try and move past that initial response to fear and begin to view the situation from a holistic standpoint. Start to see things as they really are, and to see reality for what it actually is. And as I said last week, a coherent understanding of reality is, I believe, a crucial step in the removal of fear from your life. This is a wonderful opportunity for us, folks. This is a wonderful opportunity for humankind to embrace the power they have, to move into a state of hard energy, and to address all of the problems we face. And the way to do this is through empathy and compassion. You imagine what would happen if everybody in the world were to suddenly embrace empathy and compassion and start to do the right thing in all that they do, and start to improve the lives of everybody around them. If everybody did this, the world would change in 3 seconds. This is what we need to do. And we are at a crucial time in history, and this knowledge has now become available to us. The way to fix all of the problems that we face suddenly becomes so simple. All of the corruption we see in the world, we don't have to go along with any of it. We don't even have to hurt those who are doing these things and carrying out these corrupt activities. All we have to do is to connect with each other and to stop complying with it. And that's pretty well been my message right since the beginning of this program, folks. Non-compliance. The fact that this only happens because we go along with it. The key to it all lies in addressing the shadow, understanding that all of the problems that we face have a common cause. And we don't have to dismantle the system or the infrastructure or anything that we have that keeps us comfortable in our lives. We don't have to dismantle society. But what we have to do is deal with the corruption at the highest levels of our societies. the highest levels of our governments, the corruption that allows the continuation of war and conflict and homelessness and starvation and exploitation, all the things that are going on in the world. All of these problems have a common cause. They're all simply symptoms of the one problem. That's what a lot of people fail to see, and it's what a lot of people fail to address, is the fact that all of these problems have a common cause, and it is the root cause of all of these problems that needs to be addressed. That's it, and it's so easy. It would be so easy for us to do, folks. And that's been the purpose of all of my shows. It really has, is to try to get people to see this, try to get people to understand how easy it would be to fix things.